Gorgeous, beautiful, smart patient coming for the second time for the laser, and now we're gonna also do the neck. And I love the proactive, thoughtful, wise decision that she's making, because this is how you have to approach not only the health of your skin, but the health of your entire body. And she's actually writing a book chapter in the book that I have the pleasure of also participating. And can you tell me a little bit about what you're writing?
I'm writing about how the experience with my mom's early passing at 54 from diabetes made an impact on my life, and how I started researching why we're getting sick, what's wrong with our food system, with our society right now, and how we can take control over our health and change that around. So at first I wrote a story about our immigration to the United States and my mom, and how the stress, the lifestyle, the food made her sick. She had uncontrolled diabetes, and she passed she was only 54 years old when she passed away from that. And it made me think of why is our society getting sicker and sicker, and it's not just adults, it's also children. We're having more children with fatty liver disease, with type 2 diabetes, which was unheard of before, and made me question what's wrong with our food system. So I started researching and diving deeper into our food system, what's really in our food, what's the ultra-processed food doing for our bodies. And I want to help people to take control of their health, because the ultra-processed food actually takes control away from us. They are scientifically made to crave more of that, to get us, especially our children, to get us addicted to the ultra-processed food. And we are one of not many countries that allow ultra-processed foods to be in commercials on children's network, like Nickelodeon, like Disney. Other countries already banned that. So I wrote the chapter about what ultra-processed food does to our body. It can cause type 2 diabetes, it can cause fatty liver disease, and also ADHD. Really? And some other psychiatric disorders in our children, because it changes the bacteria in our gut, and we're made mostly of bacteria, and our gut bacteria communicates with our brain. So and I'm also writing about the skill, what can I teach people to take control, to start eating differently, like whole foods, nuts, healthy grains, breast fat, pastured poultry instead of processed food. And also how to control the spikes of blood sugar, because the order actually in which you eat your food is very important. You don't ever start eating carbs and sweets at first. If you want to eat your carbs, always do it at the end. Have some vegetables and healthy proteins and fats first. And then if you desire to have your pasta and bread, have it at the end. So you will not have as high sugar spike as if you have your pasta first. And also walking after.
One second, I just want to say, this is actually brilliant. What Marina is saying is absolutely brilliant. By the way, my wife is a follower of Marina, and she admires her not only for her amazing advice, but also for sticking to what she says. So some people give you advice, but say don't smoke, but you can see them outside fat and smoking. She actually is the example of following her advice and perfect, God bless, perfect health and shape and everything. And it's through hard work. As you heard, genetically, she did not get the best genes, and you could see what happened to her mom. But she took control, and that's an example to us all. No excuses. You can take control. And what you're talking about, the spikes, this is proven time and time again, not only for that, but also for cancer. it helps reduce cancer, because that cancer craves this sugar spikes. And I wish I was perfect. I'm not. And so if you look at someone and say, oh, you're thin, you can afford to do that, they need to understand that this is actually not the case. It's got nothing to do with whether you're thin or not and you can afford to do that. You should try and avoid those, exactly what you're saying, those spikes, because they're the precursor to a lot of morbidities and mortality.
And actually those spikes drive your insulin high, and what you want to achieve is having a low insulin, because insulin is a growth hormone, and you don't want to have a lot of the growth hormone in your body as you age. High insulin is proven to be one of the causes of cancer, so we do want to prevent those spikes as much as possible for longevity and for cancer prevention.
Beautiful. Do you recommend sometimes supplementation with certain medications?
I do recommend a lot of supplementation. There are like fish oil and magnesium. There are things like NMN. There are things like berberine, beta melon to control the sugar spikes. And I like
so you use NMN to help with the sugar spike as well?
It's more for energy and longevity.
Right. But it does help with that too, I agree.
Yes.
And also with the fatty liver disease, it also helps, I agree.
But it has to be in supplement with the lifestyle, because that's
Correct.
why they're called the supplement. There's no miracles by themselves. They need to be supplemented with the right lifestyle.
Excellent, excellent. So this is all in the book that we had the pleasure of working together. And the funny thing is, you're talking about the importance of bacteria. I also spoke about the importance of the bacteria defending our skin and helping it remain healthy. So it's all the symbiosis. It's all a friendly relationship. And you should, it's like in life. Tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. It's the same thing. You want to have a healthy body, you have to have the right bacteria, the right friends supporting your microbiome. In the gut, on your skin, in your airways, everywhere. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little bit on the lips area as well. We can never have enough of collagen stimulation, and what we're doing actually is we're rejuvenating the factories that are producing the collagen elastic tissue, which are the fibroblasts. So there are a couple of ways that you can rejuvenate. Obviously we talk about supplements. The other way is using heat or cold. Both of them, sauna and immersion in cold, can help rejuvenate. This laser specifically skips the skin, so there's no downtime, and hits further deep inside where the fibroblasts reside to a degree that causes them to be rejuvenated. Now if you have younger fibroblasts, guess what happens? Think about a child being hurt, getting a wound. All he needs is a little kiss from mommy and everything heals, you know? Daddy doesn't work. But as you get older, the fibroblasts are older and a little more lazy perhaps. Maybe you're getting that insulin spikes because you're not following the instructions Marina is suggesting, and it's getting older faster, and you need to get them to become younger. One of the ways to help that is by using this laser by electronic cynosure, 1064 nanometers specifically, and that heats them to the critical temperature that will be able to rejuvenate them. And then if they're younger, they'll clearly produce younger collagen, younger elastic tissue, which is what you need in order to help rebuild and give the skin the glow. The other thing is, think about the fibroblasts. In order to do everything they need to do, they need to have energy. So it's kind of like you want to buy some food, the right supplements, you need money. Well, the money equivalent in the body is the mitochondria. And the mitochondria, the way it gives your body the energy is by producing from oxygen, aerobic respiration, it produces ATP, which is the currency, the energy the body uses in order to build whatever it needs to build. And so when you're doing this laser, you're actually also activating the mitochondria. We're talking about bacteria. Mitochondria are self-sufficient bacteria. They don't need us. They are bacteria we parasitize as human in order to be able to live. And they're the ones who use the oxygen. For us, oxygen by itself is not helpful without the bacteria. So the bacteria use the oxygen and produce the necessary currency, the ATP, so that the fibroblasts can go ahead and produce the necessary collagen and rejuvenate our skin. One of the areas that is harder to take care of is the neck. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to also do your eyes. So just keep your eyes closed. I've done it to myself too, and I'm going to also rejuvenate them because we always use the, the skin is very, very thin here. We always use the goggles, and when we use the goggles, we don't get to do the eyes as well. So I'm just being very careful, and you can even use it to help the eyelashes grow because it improves circulation. As we said, it rejuvenates. The neck is very, very thin skin. It is very thin epidermis, and because the way we sleep, the way we sit, it tends to have folds, kind of like imagine your clothes. If you constantly use the same clothes, you sit with them, they start having folds, and in order to improve it, you need to iron it. Now, I don't know if some people sleep with a special pillow. I mean, do you sleep in a special way? I've tried it. I've tried to sleep on my back with a special pillow, so I'll be in a proper position. To be honest, the reason I did it was because I had some issues with my disc herniations, and you can force yourself to do that, and after a while you forget about doing it. But obviously, you get back to the habits as soon as the problem goes away because it just, I don't know, it feels more comfortable. I don't know why.
I think a better night's sleep is more important
than wrinkles on the neck.
Wrinkles on my neck. You'll help me with the wrinkles eventually.
That's right. By the way, for sleep, have you looked into those, science, noise, or music meditation systems?
Not really. I tried.
You did try?
I did try. It did not help me when I had because of I'm going through perimenopause, so I started having some sleep issues. It did not help me personally, but I heard it helped a lot of people. But also now I'm taking, there's a herbal melatonin, not a synthetic one. So only you need 0.3 milligrams, a very low dose, which is also good for as anti-inflammatory and for longevity. So I'm taking that and magnesium like an hour or two before bedtime. And
how much magnesium do you take?
I take about 400 milligrams.
Good, that's what I try to do. Any specific you take? Glycinate, oxide, citrate?
Okay, there are many salts of magnesium. What I like, the newer salt is magnesium L-threonate, which crosses blood-brain barrier, because other salts do not. So yeah, and it has no effect on your
I did not know.
Yeah, it doesn't irritate your
magnesium
GI.
L-threonate.
Yeah.
Okay. Because the one that I use is glycinate for best absorption, unless you need some GI help, which is the oxide, right?
Oxide or citrate is also very good for the constipation. People with constipation, I do recommend taking magnesium. Oxide doesn't have the best absorption, but citrate has a better absorption and helps with constipation.
Gotcha. Wonderful. So L-threonate.
Because magnesium also plays a role in your brain function as well. And it's helpful because it crosses the blood-brain barrier.
That's true. Do you recommend checking blood levels, or how do you know if you're not overdosing? I mean, one of the problems that sometimes happens is people become a little too excited with supplements, and I've seen overdose of either zinc that competes with other vitamin absorption, or even vitamin D overdoses, which have side effects.
Yes. With zinc, yes, you can have imbalance of supplements. But magnesium, I've never seen a toxicity of magnesium, and it's excreted very easily through kidneys. So, no. I check my magnesium, and even though I take a lot, my magnesium is still within normal range. What's normal for according to functional medicine, not the normal levels, but functional levels.
Right, so it's very important for people to understand that the way what the people decide what normal is based on the average of the testing that they've done, and that also changes with time. So for example, when they talk about insulin and normal insulin levels, the normal insulin level should be actually much lower than 5.7, and you see many times people say, oh, don't worry about your 5.7 or 5.9 even, you still don't have diabetes, it's pre-diabetes. That's very, very wrong. It's kind of like, don't worry, you don't have yet the heart attack, you just have 80% occlusion of your arteries. It's not really, you know, closure, you don't have to worry about it. Well, you do, because now there are things that we can do to help prevent the downstream effects of these issues.
The problem is, in the United States, we're very good in treating a disease, a symptom, when they already have it. But what about prevention? We're not there yet to prevent, to go to the root cause of the disease and prevent it from even happening.
Correct, correct. Very well said. Well, hopefully more people will listen to you and will follow your advice, and will also read the book that soon will be out, and will be able to change that by pressuring their physicians and their advisors to open up their mind and look at things in a proactive way instead of just a reactive way.
Yes.
Is there any other books that you find that you personally love on the topic?
Well, I love the diabetes code that I read, cancer code. It talks a lot about those insulin spikes and how to prevent it. It's just an amazing book. And also reading a book on menopause right now, how it can help women feeling their best during the hottest period of their life.
Do you believe in hormonal supplements?
But yes, with bioidentical hormone replacement therapy, yes, because it can change a woman's life. And the study that was done a long time ago saying that it causes breast cancer, it was interpreted in the wrong way, and the population that they did a study on was women 65 and older, which they're already predisposed to having higher chances of cancer. So now they're reversing the policies on hormone replacement therapy, and doctors are becoming more aware that to help women go through the period of their life with hormone replacement therapy, it can prevent collagen loss and bone loss, and libido can increase your libido, and mood can help with mood swings. So I do believe in it.
What about the use of exosomes, which would be giving this entire thing without having to micromanage, allowing your own body to adjust how it needs, as opposed to trying to be the conductor, allowing that's how I look at it. So if one can do that, I prefer personally the exosome, just because your body will select how to best handle the situation, and no physician, I think, can successfully be the conductor for that specific person, how to help, because they just realize one test or another test. There's so many other things that we don't know about their interaction that we constantly are finding out. And if you give the body all the necessary things that the initial conception gave it, the H0 kind of exosomes, then you'll be able to utilize it together. If you give them the energy, the NAD, antioxidant, I think, or NMN supplement orally, I think they will be able to do that, whether it's for menopause or for other things. I mean, I've done it for myself, and I've felt it without having to go towards testosterone. I know a lot of people supplement testosterone, then some of my patients think better, they feel better, and then they have side effects, not only on their skin with rashes and pimples, but with other issues as well. Because I don't think anyone can know exactly how much you need. And then when we do the supplement, there was a study that showed that in smokers, you should be careful with some of the antioxidants, because they can increase actually risk for certain cancers as opposed to reducing it. Like the lung cancer study they did, I believe it was called CREST study. So it's for certain people, they should be cautious about how they supplement, when they supplement, especially if they're smokers. This was an interesting study that I read.
I don't know anything about it, and I didn't do any research on exosome, but I will now.
Good. Well, I know you always do. you're an open-minded person. And whenever you look at anything, you have to be open-minded. You have to listen, and you have to explore, because that's how we learn from one another. So I am just done. You're beautiful as you were before, but more radiant even. And thank you for sharing it with us. This was really educational and enlightening for me. Appreciate it. I should pay you for that, for the consultation. Thank you. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned something. Where can they follow you? Don't close. Where can they follow you? What's the?
My website is wellnessgurucoach.com and my Instagram Marina_wellnessguru.
Okay, so we'll tag you there and you'll be able to. Thank you so much.